Afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Glenn Bell, VP Strategic Partnerships here at NSA. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us for today's professional services webinar titled Turning Shipping into a Strength, an Infor Customer Journey presented by CloudLeap. Today's session is built around a real-world distributor experience. We'll begin by looking at the operational challenges many distributors face around parcel and LTL shipping when processes exist outside the ERP. From there, the CloudLeap team will walk through how their platform integrates directly into the Infor ecosystem and what that looks like from an implementation and operational perspective. You'll hear directly from an Infor distributor who has implemented the solution and will share their experience from initial rollout through day-to-day use. We'll also include a live demonstration of the platform in action. You'll see carrier integrations, rate shopping, shipment execution, labels and documentation, tracking, as well as automation. So a whole lot, buckle up. Finally, we'll wrap up with a discussion and Q&A so we can address questions from the group. This will be done in chat. Please do remain self-muted during this session. I'll read those questions out. Again, my name is Glenn Bell. My contact information is now on screen. I'll also add it in chat in just a moment. But for those of you joining us for the first time, I'd like to take a quick look at who we are here at NSA and how we support distributors. NSA was founded back in 1984, and from day one, we focused exclusively on the wholesale distribution space. That focus has never changed. We were also the first dedicated Infor partner serving distributors, which shaped how we approach ERP and long-term client relationships. Our consulting team is full-time and deeply experienced in distribution. Many of our team members have spent decades working with SX Enterprise and Cloud Suite distribution. Beyond core ERP, much of our work lives in integrations, automation, and custom development. We extend Infor environments to show and support how distributors actually run their businesses day to day. That experience is what led to NSA Plus. Over time, we saw the same gaps, inefficiencies, and manual work show up again and again across distributors. NSA Plus brings together more than 20 solutions like this one, designed to address those gaps and help our clients get more value out of their ERP investment well beyond go live. With that, I'm pleased to introduce our presenters from CloudLeap. Joining us today is Pritesh and Bhavna. Their team works closely with Infor distributors to help modernize shipping operations by bringing parcel and freight execution directly into the ERP workflow. Their work focuses on helping distributors simplify shipping processes, reduce manual effort, and gain better visibility across their shipping operations. We're also joined today by Sean Horton from Industrial Supply Company, who will share their customer perspective. Industrial Supply Company is a family-owned industrial distributor founded in 1916 and headquartered in Salt Lake City, Utah. The company serves manufacturing, construction, mining, and aerospace customers with MRO products, safety supplies, tools, and inventory management services. Industrial Supply emphasizes reliability, service, and long-term customer partnerships. Sean will share some of their experience implementing and using CloudLeap within their Infor environment. With that, I'll turn it over to Pritesh and Bhavna and Sean to walk us through the session. Take it away.
Thank you for that. So hello, everyone. I'm going to quickly walk you guys through about our company, and then we'll jump into the live demonstration as well. So just a little bit about us. So our company name is CloudLeap. A lot of you guys may know us as a POV also, and POV is our product name, and it stands on letters POV. So what and how that came about was it's basically me and my co-founder. We have had experience in the logistics side for now over 15 years. And we wanted to design a solution based on kind of what we had heard from all the logistics folks, kind of what they really hated, what they really liked, what they wished things would be different. So we wanted to design a solution kind of from that point of view. So that's how the word POV came about. It is a cloud-based solution, and it is a global solution. So it doesn't matter where you are shipping from, where you are shipping to, you would be able to utilize the solution. And some of the important facts about us, we do take security very seriously. So we do go through SOC 2 Type 2 compliance every year. So our solution is SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. But the most important thing that we have learned in our past 15 years of experience is that it doesn't matter how great of a solution you have, how many functionality it provides. If your support is not good, the customers are going to hate the solution, right? So one of the things that me and our co-founder, and as a team, we have given the highest importance is to the support. So whenever our customer has an issue, somebody will jump onto a web meeting with them, help them get that resolved. And all of our customers do get 24/7, 365 support. There's no different tiers of support or no different levels. It doesn't matter if it's small to mid-sized companies or Fortune 500 company, they all get 24/7, 365 support. Um, we also have 125 plus carriers that are already integrated within our solution, and it's across the globe. So not just within the US, it's all across the globe. One big advantage that we provide to our customers is that if you do have a carrier that let's say that it's not within our carrier network already, and even if you want to add that carrier, as long as they provide integration, we are able to work with them, get them integrated, and there is no cost to our customers to add that new carrier. So whenever they want to add or change carrier, it's always going to be a zero cost because whenever we do add that carrier, it does become available to our entire customer network. So customers love that fact that it's very agile. You are able to switch carriers very easily when you need to without any major cost. In addition to that, we have 90 plus enterprise customers that are using our solution globally. To give you an idea, we have one Infor customers that ships to about 130 plus countries using our solution. Our pricing is pretty simple, straightforward. It is simply just looking at how many shipments you do. So that's how it's priced based on. So if you do have locations that may only ship few shipments a week versus some locations that do hundreds or thousands of shipments every week, you are going to be able to automate all of your locations. So no locations are going to get left behind because we do not charge based on number of users or number of workstations or number of warehouses. It simply looks at how many shipments you process using our solution. Also, we have now 20 plus pre-built enterprise connectors. What this means in terms of that, it's not just just one ERP system, right? So if you do any acquisition, where a lot of the distributors that we work with, we know that they have grown through acquisitions as well. So as you acquire their companies, and let's say that they do have different ERP systems, we have now a pre-built integration with some 20 plus ERP systems. So if as you bring them all on board with a single ERP system, they are going to be able to start utilizing our solution with the current ERP they have. And when you do move to your ERP system, when you move them to Infor, the move is going to be very seamless for them. So that's another big advantage that our customers like about us, that if they do acquisition, they're going to be able to still bring them on board on the shipping solution right away. When it comes to Infor, we do have all of the different Infor flavors already integrated within our solution. So when it comes to Infor SXC, CSD, they both are integrated. So it doesn't matter what version you have, we will be able to work with that. Even if it's like if you're on-prem in cloud, both of them are supported. But if you even also have TWL, or if you have a WMS that you plan to move to, or you already have WMS, you are going to be able to utilize our solution as we have pre-built integration with CSD, SXC, as well as TWL and WMS. When it comes to Infor WMS, we actually have a connector built within the WMS itself. So that way users don't actually even have to log into our web-based application if they don't want to log into the web-based application. So again, it's going to be pretty plug and play integration when it comes to the Infor side. So you have to do very minimal when it comes to the integration standpoint. In terms of the different capabilities that we provide, so these are some of the key features and functionalities that we have. So we have rate shopping. So if you do want to do rate comparison between different carriers or different modes, you are going to be able to do that. And the rate shopping would be available not only at the time of shipping, but if you do want to do it even at the sales order side, we can even help with the rate shopping at the sales order side also. So you're going to have both of those capabilities. In addition to that, we have business rule engine also. So even when you're selecting the carrier, it doesn't necessarily have to be just based on the pricing. It could have basically even customer requirements. So you can put in a business rule, let's say, where this particular customer never wants to ship using this one carrier because they've had a bad experience, or they always want to ship using this particular carrier. So you can specify those business rule, and our system will take those into account when selecting the carrier. Or if you have a special documents that you need to generate. So for example, if you need UCC 128 labels or customized packing slip, we do have even documents rule engine where you can specify the rules and can automatically trigger those custom documents for you. Or it could be even accessorial charges. So let's say that when you're shipping to a certain customer, they're in limited access delivery area, or they always like require inside delivery, then it'll automatically put those options for them when you're shipping to them. So that's also something there. We do also have a spot quote capability. So let's say that if you have a shipment that has more than 7, 8 pallets, or it's a full truckload shipment, and you don't have a specific rate set up with any carrier, and you want to send that shipment out for a bidding to different carriers, you would be able to utilize our spot quote portal to send that shipment out for a bidding. We do also have address validation capability, where if you want to validate the address, make sure, is it residential? Is it a commercial? Is the city zip code, everything accurate? You are going to be able to do that. Now, all of these functionality that I'm referring to, they're all available through APIs also. So if you do want to call our APIs more upfront, so let's say when you on your e-commerce platform or at a sales order level, you are going to be able to do all of these functionality even more upstream as well if you do need to do that. Then we do also have a shipment execution capability. So if you're shipping your parcel shipment, being able to generate your parcel labels, your packing slip. If you are doing LTL, being able to generate your bill of lading document, your pallet labels. If you're doing international shipments, then being able to do your commercial invoice, certificate of origin, SLI, all of those USMSCA, any documents that you need, it's going to be able to generate those documents for you. If we have in the audience folks who are shipping dangerous goods or serialized products, we are going to be able to support that also. So for dangerous goods, if you're shipping ground, it'll going to do the OP 900 document. If you're shipping via air, it'll do the shipper's declaration or DGBOL. So based on the different type of shipments, it's going to produce the documents automatically. So kind of want to stress on this, that doesn't matter what mode of shipments you are doing, what type of shipment you're processing, you're going to be able to process everything from within one platform without having to have different workstations or different folks who can only process this one type of shipment. All of the users are going to be able to process all different type of shipments. Then we do also have a tracking capability. So once the shipment has left the door, what is happening with the shipment? Did it get delivered? Who signed for it? Were there any exceptions? We are going to be able to keep track of all of that. And one other thing that we do, which our customers really like, is that we can store this data for as long as the customer needs. As a default, we already store it for 1 year, but from a regulatory perspective, if some customers do have a requirement where they need to keep it for a longer time period, we can even keep this for a longer time period also. Then we do also have an invoice audit capability where we are able to retrieve invoices electronically from the carriers, perform audit on it, and give you a report that, hey, if these are the invoices where there were freight exceptions, these are the one there may be duplicate charges, or if there are orphan invoice records where there was no record of the shipment happening within our system, but you guys got invoice for something. So it'll flag those. So nobody has to go through the tedious task of finding which one has the errors, which ones are accurate ones. It can automatically approve. Only the ones basically there have issues, it'll only flag those so that you're only spending time on those particular invoices. And you can also set up a tolerance level as well, that only if it's above certain percentage of difference, then only you want to flag, or only if it's above certain dollar amount, then you only want to flag those invoices. So you can set up those tolerance levels also. And I'm going to try and, as we get to the demo side of it, I'm going to try and cover the invoice audit part as well in the demo. We do also have a customs filing solution. So if you are shipping anything over $2,500 and you need to do the customs filing with ACE, you are going to be able to do that from within our solution also, so that you don't have to pay your freight brokers anywhere from $15 to $25 that you might be paying. Or if you're doing things manually on the ACE website, you're no longer going to have to do that. So that's something of an added advantage as well. Now, in addition to this, I wanted to just kind of talk about that. It is going to cover all your modes, so not just parcel, LTL, full truckload. If you need to even do ocean container shipping, tracking, etc. as well, we are going to be able to help support all your different modes with our solution. These are some of our customers, so you'll see some of the some of the names recognized to you. Most of these are Infor customers, but you'll see over here that we have small to mid-sized companies as well as Fortune 500 companies that are utilizing the solution, and wide variety of industries also. So you'll see over here aerospace companies, chemical companies, life science companies, apparel, food and beverage, so all different type of industries. So as long as you have packaged pallets, that you need to ship out, you are going to be able to benefit from the solution. I do have some highlights from some of the customers as well, which we're going to share. So these are just some of the highlights from our that customers have shared that I wanted to kind of talk about over here. Now, one thing I want to mention is that we haven't really done any detailed ROI analysis or spent a lot of time kind of doing that with all the customers. So this is kind of what they have shared from just their, one or two locations, how they have benefited. So from Rocky Mountain, we actually just did a session with them just a week back at one of the conference, and they basically said that one of the things that they love about is that there has been a zero outages since go live. So they love that fact about it. Hastings had gone live, and they have seen just $80,000 plus saving just from their LTL automation alone, and just from two of the locations, right? So that's something that they had pointed out, so I wanted to kind of share that. Air Tractor, they're saving based on what their previous process was. Now that they use our solution, they are able to process shipments within seconds, where earlier it used to take them 15 to 20 minutes, right? So they have shared basically where it saves them almost kind of a 6 to 8 hours worth of time every day just on basically one type of process. Functional devices, 40% backlog reduction. Enphase Energy. So they have saved, Enphase Energy has many locations that they're using our solution, but from just one location itself, they've saved over $475,000 in just address-related issues and $131,000 in labor savings. So this is just, again, from their pilot location. And they do use our solution globally. So there are many different countries where they use our solution from as well. Ahern, 14% savings just through guaranteed service refunds. So these are just, again, some of the highlights that the customers have shared. We do have one of our customers live also, who's going to share a little bit about their experience working with us. So I'm going to pause over here and kind of hand it off to Sean Horton from Industrial Supply. So he's going to talk about their journey on how they selected us, what were the issues they had, how we helped them resolve that. So with that, Sean, I'll hand it off to you.
Thank you, Pritesh. I'm sure many of you guys have watched several of these demo videos on all the different types of shipping software that are out there, but I'm telling you that what he's saying is true, because we've seen a lot of those come to fruition for us, because we had a lot of troubles when we were looking for shipping software. We were in a contract with the software, and we couldn't get the updates and changes we needed. We were using a different software. We have 8 branches, and they were all using some different type of software. Some were just using default UPS software. Some were just still hand writing BOLs. There was no rhyme or reason to what we were doing, and we were trying to get everything under control and get one system that would work for everything, which was hard for us because here at our main distribution warehouse, we do use CSD everywhere, but we do use TWL here in our main distribution, where majority of our shipments are processed from. But our other branches, they're not using a warehouse management system there. So we needed something that would work on both sides. And we were able to accomplish that very easily by using Pyovi. We had a lot of, it's personal to me because it was a big project of mine that I took on, because we just had a shipping software solution that couldn't do anything that it was promised for us to do. And when I took over this role, a few years ago, I was just given the software, and this is what they agreed to. And I couldn't even get the other software to give me a demo on what they had promised us, because everything that they said they would do and they promised us, they just wouldn't do. And that's why it's kind of interesting to watch Pritesh and go through these slides and listen to him talk about all the things that they can do, because they do truly do everything that he says they can do. I've seen it happen, and it's just been such a great positive experience for us. Some of the things he brought up, the manual processes, we were doing handwritten BOLs and all that. Now it's all automated. The tracking from our system, we can scan it in. All the tracking is taken back into CSD, so then our sales guys can see the tracking and they can track the orders themselves if they need to. They don't have to wait. Our shipping department comes in a little bit later, and sometimes our sales guys are getting phone calls early in the morning, and they're waiting for 2 or 3 hours while their customers looking for their stuff, wanting tracking, and they can see it in CSD now. They don't have to wait for an email response from somebody out in the warehouse to give them the tracking information, because it's all in the system. And along with that, it also, all the pricing is in the system. So it takes the rate that we agreed to when we submit the shipment, puts it back into CSD, and all of that information was there. We were having to manually go in and enter that information. And so then there was large delays in our invoicing, because we were holding up our shipping invoices because we didn't know the rate, because we were doing things manually, and we were having to get our invoice back from our carrier. Then we would go through and enter all those, go back in, several days later, enter in the pro numbers, the tracking, and then enter the rates in, the freight rates in there on the orders, and then invoice the orders. So we sped up that whole process, and that helped us tremendously. And that was some of the stuff that helped us with our cost savings. Just the manual side of it, right? A lot less labor. And now the rates are there. So now our team can rate shop on our LTL shipments that we do. And we do quite a few a day. And now they can see the different rates, and they know which customers, like he mentioned, where we have a couple customers that are like, you can't ship on this carrier anymore. They just don't like that driver that delivers to them out there in that area. So that one opts out, and then they can see the other options that we have to ship there. It gives them the lead times and everything, so that if the salesman's requesting it get there quicker or whatever, my shipping team can just see it all right there on their screen. They don't have to make several phone calls and go out there and manually rate shop. It's all right there. So I think I've gone over a lot of stuff here. I hope it's not too much. One thing that we really helped us when we went with PyOV is we were very gun shy to change softwares again when we did all this, but they did execute what they promised. They gave us the price up front, and they were like, "This is the price," and we're like, "Okay, well that sounds too good to be true." So what are all the hidden costs? Because we had gone through that with our previous shipping softwares, where we set up a shipping software and we missed setting up FedEx in our shipping options. And, after we got it all set up and everything, contracts were signed, testing was done, and things were playing. And then we're like, oh, we forgot to put FedEx in there. They're like, oh, that's fine. And then they just wanted to charge us extra to add FedEx in there. And it's like, well, can you guys help us out here? And, it just wasn't an option. And it's kind of puts your mind at ease when these, Pritesh and these guys at PyOV, they're just like, yeah, just let us know what you got to do. We're going to get everything up and running. We're going to prove to you guys that we can do all the stuff we're promising before we tell you. Like, it was really strange to us going into it, but in the end, it was such a positive process that we went through, and such a for going into a new system. It was a great experience, and I don't know a system that we've gone live with that I would say that with. So that means a lot. I guess we'll go over how we process our shipments here. we are in TWL and we pick to pack. So we pack all of our orders in TWL and then we send them to our freight shipments and UPS ground, our small parcels. We'll send those over to uh, the scanners, our shipping desk over there. We have an electronic scale. So the packages come in, they can scan the carton. And then like it says on there, the weight is pulled from the scale. It puts the weight in there, and then all the information's there. And then we'll just quickly, we have set in our software, we have set in there certain our standard box sizes, small, medium, large, extra large. They'll put that in there, so then that will help them dim out the box real quickly. And that way, if it's too bigger than it weighs, so it gets the more accurate UPS and parcel charges on there. And then they hit OK, and then the label prints out, and then they can label the boxes. There's so many things that I could talk about. I could go on for hours. Some of the small, simple things that we had asked for in other shipping softwares was, I want my UPS label to say, I wanted it to count my boxes and be box 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5, 5 of 5. And so many of them ask me, well, why do you need that? And I go, because we need the customer to know that there's multiple packages that belong to this order. And the way we looked at it was we wanted to ship our product the way that we wanted to receive it in our receiving, because we receive in a lot of packages and a lot of pallets a day. And so this became personal to me because over in my receiving floor, I go over there and watch how the pains that they have when they're trying to receive stuff. And the BOL has no information on it. The UPS label has no information on it. And I'm like, man, if every UPS box that came in would just have our PO number on the label, the time that would save us. And if every UPS box that came in would just say, hey, there's 7 boxes that belong to this shipment, it would just save us so much time. And so when we asked for those things, people thought we were kind of asking the world, but Javi was like, yeah, that's easy. We just got to, we got that. That's fine. We can do that. And they just made those things happen so seamless that it was just, it was very, again, very strange to us. It wasn't something we were used to, on our LTL, we'd ship all of our, small parcel, we ship all of our hazmat stuff via PIOB. So it prints out our hazmat documents for UPS, and it prints the labeling that we need for all that stuff, so we can package and label the boxes properly with their red and striped paperwork for the hazmat. We process a lot of LTL shipments through there, and some of the things we asked for in that was like, well, can we print multiple labels for one per pallet? And they're like, yeah, we can do that. So we can label multiple sides of the pallet with the same label in case one of them gets ripped off during shipping, because we've all seen and experienced what the LTL freight docks are like. So, I don't know how you explain those cost savings in the time saved when you don't have to go back and do something over and over again because of all these little tiny things that we were able to implement that just made huge differences on our side. A lot of our sales guys and our team is able to go into the portal, and they can click on the orders, and then they can track them live right through the portal there. So that's helped them on the sales side of things quickly. The way that they link up all that, they don't have to go to the website for each carrier. They can just click on it from the PIOB shipment tracking, and it'll take them right there and give them all the data right out of the LTL carriers portal. There's cost savings there. We've saved at least 20%. We know there's a lot more there, but just numbers that we've seen from our freight costs going out, we've saved just in our UPS charges, we've saved over 20%. There's a lot more savings behind the scenes there that we haven't documented yet. We were getting a lot of accessorial charges that we're able to audit a lot easier now on our LTL shipments. We have it flagged to where if there's if the charge is higher than what we agreed to, then it sends us a note, and so we can go back and look at it, and then we can resolve that with the carrier and find out what happened on that bill and get those charges fixed. One of the things it does allow that is really beneficial too is all the all of our carriers are all built in there with all of our our rates that we have. We ship quite a bit, and so we've got pretty good rates with all of our carriers, even our small parcel carriers. So we have the rate in there so we can see actually what we are paying. And there are some shipments where for certain customers we can say, okay, well, we've got an agreement with this customer, and now when we ship freight, we're going to give them our discount, and then we're going to plus a margin on there, so we're able to, charge them a little bit extra, so we're making some of our money back on our freight expenses that way for the ones that we have those agreements with, so we can put a margin on our outbound freight expenses. Anything else you want me to go over, Pritesh?
No, I think that was really good, Sean. I really appreciate it for you sharing that experience. I think, team, if you guys have any questions for Sean, please feel free to post those, and Sean can help get those answered, or like we can pause for us just a minute or so, and we can try and answer any questions that you guys have for Sean. Of course, we'll have a Q&A session towards the end as well, so we'll be able to answer any question at that point also. And with that, we'll go ahead and jump into just in a minute. We'll go ahead and jump into the demo so I can show you guys the application, how the solution works. And do keep in mind that everything I'm going to show you today, it is going to be in a web-based application, but all of the things are available also through APIs. And we do have many Infor customers who do use our solution where they are calling our APIs from within the RF gun. So if somebody who has attended one of the TUG conference, we had Power Intel, for example, who had kind of presented with us, who uses our solution. They use the web-based application, but a lot of the majority of the shipments they do it through their RF guns also. So where our APIs are just called from within their RF guns. So again, you can use the solution that way also. But with that, I'll go ahead and jump into the demo. All right. So this is the web-based application that the shippers would be logging into. It is available in different languages also. So again, depending on, I know we have some folks who are joining in from Canada over here as well. So if you do need to switch the language, of course, I don't know, so I'm not going to keep it in French. But if we do have users who are joining in from Canada and you want to basically the solution screen to be available in Canadian French, then you have a Canadian French. You can toggle between different languages, French. If you have any other language like Spanish or anything like that you need as well, the solution is capable to be available in different languages. So you have that. Also, depending on where you are joining in, or where you are logging in from. So if the user is in US, they'll see, the US-based basically screen. If they're logging in from Canada, they're gonna see all the setup based on that. So the carriers will be different. Their services that are available are going to be different on all of that. So based on where they are joining, where they're using the solution, it's going to show different options. So we're here. Simply users can scan in a delivery number, and as soon as they scan in, it's going to bring in everything real time from Infor. Where are the items getting shipped to? What's the carrier? What's the service type? Who's going to be paying for the shipment? All of that information will be brought in real time, including any reference fields, as Sean was talking about how we print the reference fields on the labels and documents. We'll be able to bring in all of that information also. If you do want to do address validation, you are going to be able to do the address validation over here. So I'm going to just I'm going to change the zip code over here to an incorrect zip code. So if you do end up doing an address validation, it'll basically tell you that is this a business address? Is it a residential address? It'll correct the zip code. So you see from 7.1, it corrected it to the 14.772 and added the additional 4 digits also. And it categorized the address as a residential address. And now when it did correct that address over here, it'll also flag this address within our system. So that way you can look at those addresses and then correct your master record also if you needed to. If you do want to do rate shop, you are going to be able to do the rate shopping over here also, where it'll give you all the different carriers and services that you normally use. So it'll give you your discounted freight as well as your markup cost. And you're going to be able to select the carrier from over here. It'll give you the estimated delivery date as well. So if you do want to add any upcharge to your discounted freight, you are going to be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and select UPS second air. So you saw that it changed from FedEx to UPS. If the items are already packed, we would have brought in the packaged information over here. If the items are not packed, then you can do the packing using our solution. So you can have your favorite box types where you can select the box and then basically pack those items within that box if you wanted to do that. We do also have a Packurate integrated as well. So if you want to do packing optimization, where you want to get a suggestion, which box should this go in, or how many pallets should this be basically go on, you are going to be able to do that also if that's something that you need. But otherwise, if everything looks okay and you're ready to ship, you'll process this shipment. It'll generate the necessary labels and documents, and it'll be printed on the printer automatically for you. I'm going to show it to you on the screen over here because you're not going to be able, you're not going to be able to see what's on the printer. So I'm bringing it up over here. Otherwise, you're never going to really need to come over here because everything would automatically be printed. But you see the tracking number over here. This will get updated back into Infor. Also, the freight cost will go back into Infor also. And it'll give you even the any surcharges, etc., that were there. It'll give you a breakdown of those also. So all of that information will go back into Infor. Also, all the documents over here you can see. So labels. So this is, again, you're not seeing the tracking barcode over here because we are using a test account, but otherwise it'll have the barcode over here, but it'll generate the label. So we had 2 boxes. So that's why you are seeing 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. So these are the 2 labels that got generated. If you do want us to generate the packing slip, it'll do the packing slip, and instead of the CloudLeap logo, it'll have your logo. Or if you're doing a drop ship on behalf of somebody, then it can even have their logo. So you'll have these packing slip also that can be generated. And you can see that these reference fields, etc., not only do they get printed on the labels, but if you want on any documents, you're going to be able to do that also. Any of these documents, if you need to email them out, you are going to be able to email them out to anybody. So if you're doing a shipping on behalf of somebody and you want to email them the labels, you can do that from over here also. Any of the documents that we generate, if you do want us to push those out into Infor IDM, we are able to push those documents out in the Infor IDM also. We also take a snapshot of what were all the different carrier and services that were available. So you'll be able to see those over here. So in the, if you're training somebody and you just want to make sure that, hey, are we selecting the right carrier, etc., you're gonna be able to have this data available, so you can go back and take a look at it. Or this data can be utilized even to better negotiate rates as well. So let's say in this case, DHL was giving better rate. So if UPS is your main carrier, you can go back and check with them that, hey, why is your competition giving us better rate when we are giving you more volume, right? So you have that data available for whatever purpose you want to use it for. This is your parcel shipment. If you're doing LTL, it's going to be the same. You're not going to really move away from this screen. The only thing that's going to be different when it's going to be LTL shipment is that when you go to the special services, it's going to have different special services. So you'll see all the different options that are available to you. So if you're delivering in a limited access delivery, or if it's a military delivery, or whatever that it may be, right? These options can get automatically selected based on the business rules. Or if you're storing this information on the customer profile in Infor, we can even bring it in from there also. But now when you do the rate shopping, it'll include those accessorial charges in there that were selected. So limited access delivery, a lift gate, all of that is going to be included in there in the accessorial charges. Also, this is going to give you your own negotiated rate that with the carriers that you have. But let's say that you're using any 3PL or freight brokers like C.H. Robinson or Worldwide Express or Unishipper, we're going to be able to bring in their rates also. So you can do a comparison that, hey, your own negotiated rates are better, or are one of those 3PL's rates are better. So you can do that comparison. So you see over here, the ones which have direct logos, these are all your own negotiated rates. And the one where you are seeing the Worldwide Express, so these are all the different carriers Worldwide Express offer, and you are seeing their rates also. So let's say that you decide to go with Saya, you can select that. And when you do expand that, I wanted to kind of just point one more thing is that you'll see the accessorial charges in here also. So again, if you have done special negotiation on the accessorial charges and some carrier give it to you for cheaper, when you're doing the comparison, you're doing apple to apple comparison with all the accessorial charges and everything included in there. So I'm going to go ahead and select Saya. So it switched the carrier from RNL to Saya over here. And now when I ship this, it's going to generate instead of carrier label, it's going to generate the bill of lading document and the pallet label. And those will, again, automatically get printed on the printer. And it'll do the ship confirm within Infor also. Now, for ship confirm also, you have two different options. If you want to do it real time, we can do it real time. If you want to do it end of the day, you can even do ship confirm at end of the day as well. So it's up to you how you guys would like to do ship confirm. Or here, if I go to the documents now, so you'll have your bill of lading document. And again, if you're using any major carrier and you want to generate a carrier-specific BOL, then we can do a carrier-specific BOL also. If you have few of your own trucks and you would still want to generate the carrier labels and bill of lading, you're going to be able to do that also. It'll also generate the pallet labels. And again, for each pallet, as Sean was pointing out that they use, they need 4 pallet labels for each pallet. It'll automatically print out 4 pallet labels. If you need 2, then that's a configuration. It will basically print 2. But for each pallet, it'll print out those pallet labels also. And again, same thing. We are going to, not only are we going to capture the discount and the markup cost, we're going to capture also the code ID. So if you do end up doing invoice auditing and you need to file a claim, you're going to have the code ID from them as well. So let's say from the SIA, right, you have this code ID from SIA, as well as you will have all the information, what were the different options, etc., that was selected. So if the invoice ends up coming for a higher amount, you can submit this with it. So your claim has a much better chance of getting processed and approved also. It also sends out an email notification. So I'm going to quickly just show you the email notification also. So this is the email notification that will get sent out. Oops, sorry. Quickly pull it up over here. So it's going to send out this email notification that's going to go out to your customer also. So if you want to include as little as information or as much as information, you can include that. It'll have the tracking URL. It'll have what products are being shipped to them. Where is it coming from? Where it's, when it will arrive? All of that information will be there. So again, you can configure this to how you want it to look like. So if you wanted to include more information, you can. If you want to include less information, you can do that way. But that will reduce the number of calls that you are getting to find out what the shipment status is. So that's your LTL shipment. If you're doing international, that's going to be no different. It's going to bring in all the international details as well from Infor. So you see over here the HTS code, ECCN, your unit price, all of that information will be brought in from Infor. Any of the data that's missing or needs to be corrected, you are going to be able to change that data over here also. It'll also do the paperless commercial invoice also, if you do want it to do that. If you want a paper commercial invoice, you can, but most of the customers are going to want to do paperless because it's going to save you in terms of a delivery time as well. Your shipments will get delivered much faster also because, the custom clearance and everything, all the documents are getting submitted electronically. So the carrier is not going to have to enter anything manually or scan anything manually. But now if I go ahead and process the shipment, it'll generate the commercial invoice, SLI, certificate of origin, any documents that are needed. I'm going to quickly show it to you on the screen over here. So if I go to the documents over here, so you have your carrier label, but you have your commercial invoice. And again, this would be electronically already submitted to the carrier. It'll also generate SLI and any others. This was going to Germany, but if you need USMSCA, or certificate of origin, any shipments that are any documents that are needed, it'll generate all of those documents for you. If you do have dangerous goods, you're going to be able to ship dangerous goods also. So the process is not going to be any different. So I'm going to quickly show you one dangerous good shipment also over here. Only thing that's going to be different is that you'll have all your DG details that is going to come in as well. If you're storing this information in Infor, we'll bring it from there. If you're not storing the DG details in Infor, you do have an option to store within our solution also. But it'll bring in the regulation information, UN number, proper shipping name, all of it. This is going via ground. So when I ship this, it's going to do the OP900. If it was going via air, it would have done the shipper's declaration. So if I'm going to quickly bring it up over here, and if I go to the documents, you see your carrier label, but you also see the domestic DG documentation. So if you have the border document, it'll automatically print that on that printer where you are storing those border document that's provided by the carrier, and it'll print in the format that they're looking for. So irrespective of what type of shipment you're doing, again, domestic, international, LTL, full truckload, ocean, are you doing serialized product? You are going to be able to process all your different type of shipments from within single application. And you'll see that you're not actually going into the ERP system at all, even though every data is getting pulled from ERP, pushed back to ERP. Your users don't have to learn the ERP side of it. So it makes the training process for your users also much more simpler. They can even just watch a video and get trained on the solution. So that's another big advantage that our customers love. Also, for the customers who are joining in from Canada, I'm going to process one shipment that's originating in Canada as well. So again, you can see now it changed the location to Cloud Leap Canada. And now this is going from within Canada to Canada. So this is just going to Vancouver. So now if you want to ship this using Purolator, you're going to be able to do that. And now it's going to have all your freight cost and everything in Canadian dollars. So if I go ahead and quickly pull it up. So you see over here the Purolator tracking number, the freight cost in Canadian dollars also. And if I go to the documents, you'll have your Purolator label. And again, I'm using the test account number. So that's why you are seeing this information over here. But keep in mind that in Canada side also, it's not just that we have one or two carriers. So we have all your major carriers in Canada integrated, but a lot of the regional carriers in Canada also are integrated. So we have customers like MCO, Graybar, SP, SPI, MacPac, so who have hundreds of locations altogether, right, where they're using the solution. So a lot of the regional carriers are also already integrated within the solution as well. Right. If you have non-Infor shipments as well, you're going to be able to do those also from over here, where you can have your own address book and select an address, one address book, and ship it out that way. Or if you have 100 or 200 samples, you want to send it out to your customers and want to just upload an Excel spreadsheet, it'll print out 200 labels for you in a single go by just basically doing the batch shipment over here, where you can upload an Excel spreadsheet. So these are non-Infor orders. If you are just sending out samples or awards to an employee or gifts to employee, and you want to generate 200, 500 labels, you can upload an Excel spreadsheet and it'll go ahead and print out those labels for you in a single go rather than you having to do one at a time. So that's what I wanted to kind of cover from a shipping standpoint. Oops, let me go ahead and I'm going to log in quickly to show you guys a little bit on the reporting side. Got logged off. So it'll have you will have different dashboards that you can create. So if you want to see how many shipments, operational metrics perspective, how many shipments, who is processing from your warehouse, you want to combine multiple warehouses and do it for multiple warehouses, you can do that. You want to see how many LTL shipments you're processing, how many parcel shipments you're processing, a heat map of how many shipments you're processing and which, within US or worldwide, you're going to be able to do that. Shipment KPI, so how much are you spending with each carrier? How much is your per pound cost, etc. You can create these different dashboards as you need. So you'll have those. In addition to that, all of the data that we have within our solution, you'll have access to that data. So we can make an API available. So if you have your own BI tools, then you can even do the reporting within your own BI tools also. We do have certain certain CAN reports also within our solution. So you can see those over here. So your delayed shipments, if you want to see, what's the current status of the shipment, you'll be able to see all of that over here. And one of the things that we do, which our customers really like, is that not only do we capture what's the current milestone, we keep track of each and every milestone within our solution. So even when it goes away from the carrier website, you'll exactly know 6 months from now, 1 year from now, how did the shipment get picked up? How did it get delivered? You'll have all of that data available to you over here, including the proof of delivery signature file. So we'll be able to capture that proof of delivery signature files also. And again, all of this also can be pushed back into Infor IDM. And if you do have even LTL carriers, I showed you guys for the parcel, but I'm going to quickly pull up just a few LTL carriers. So you'll be able to even, for the LTL carriers, the proof of delivery may look something different. So I'm going to quickly show you over here. So for LTL also, we'll be able to bring in the proof of delivery signature files. In addition to that, we talked about invoice auditing, how we can retrieve invoices electronically from the carrier. It'll give you all the different audit reports. So if you want to see accruals that you ship something, but you have not been invoiced, so you can see kind of how much approximately amount that you're going to get invoiced for. You can see those accruals. Orphan invoice records where There is no record of the shipment happening within our solution, but you got invoice for it. So it'll flag those duplicate charges, weight discrepancies, missing PODs, charge discrepancies. This is something going to be probably the most important to everybody. So based on the tolerance level that you would have set up, it's going to give you basically a record of all the shipments where there was a difference in shipping charge. So over here, I can put, for example, one example over here that this was supposed to be 171. You got charged $351. So there was a $180 difference. So now if you want to view this in more detail, it'll give you the breakdown of all the charges. So it'll show you over here that when you shipped it, there was only one fuel surcharge that was there. But when you got invoiced, it also added the government airport mine fee, so of $180. So that's the additional charge that you got charged. And that's why there is this difference. So now you can make a determination if this is a legit charge or is this something you need to file a claim for it. But you have basically all the details available to you. Also, another report that our customers really like is the ship method analysis report. This is a report that's going to give you information that, hey, instead of this carrier, so instead of RNL, if you would have used SIA, you would have saved $135 and it would have still got the shipment delivered in time. So you have this report available to you, so you can utilize this data to see if there are certain regions where one carrier is performing better and you need to make a switch that, hey, whenever I'm shipping to California, let's always use SIA or let's always use XPO, whichever carrier is performing better, so you can make those decisions. Or you can utilize this even to better negotiate a rate with the carrier that, hey, RNL, we are giving you majority of our volume, but your competition is giving us a better rate. Why is that, right? So you can utilize this data or report for whatever purpose you want to utilize this for. But many of our customers are requesting this report. So now we have included that as a part of our solution. And that's another big advantage that you're going to have with a solution like ours, is that whenever there are any changes that are being requested by many customers or any enhancements that are requested by customers, we just include them as a part of the product rather than charging our customers as an enhancement or change. We try and basically include just anything that we see request many times, we just include that as a part of the product. So that's another big advantage as well. So that's kind of what I wanted to cover from shipping, reporting, and all of that. I'll now open it up to everybody to kind of ask any questions. So that way, if you have a question for our team or Sean, who's over here from a customer standpoint as well, he'll be able to answer any questions as well. So I'll take a pause over here and open it up to you guys.
I'd like to thank you very much, Pritesh, for that fantastic presentation and the demo. I mean, it's a great look at how shipping operates directly within the Infor environment and what that looks like, technically and from the distributor perspective. But Sean, thank you so much for your comments. They really do help others, with their choices and find a path to their own success, right? I mean, when you see a solution like this and you see so much value back to the end client, you get a real sense, that it's solutions like these that really do help remove the pain points, right? And help you focus on providing excellence to your clients. So I just think it's a great session. And I just wanted to comment, the Q&A has been going in parallel in chat and the engagement's just been fantastic. Many of these questions have been answered as it flows along. I won't be reading these out in that regard. Bhavana and Bhavna, sorry, and Mary Bennett have answered some of those questions. But if there are any other comments or questions, again, for Pritesh or for Sean, please do fire away.
And
Pritesh,
go ahead.
Chip has a question that I haven't answered yet, but maybe you can answer. He's asking about being able to rate shop in CSD at the time of order entry based on from, to, and product weight.
Yep.
So can you answer that?
Yeah, so from the CSD, actually, NSA team is the one who have actually helped us to get that developed as well. So if you want to do the rate shopping at the sales order side, you will be able to basically do the rate shopping at the sales order level, where of course, it's going to be an estimated cost because you don't know exactly how you're going to be doing the packaging. So it'll give you basically estimated freight cost where you'll see all the different options, how I showed you guys on the shipping screen. It'll basically show you at the order level when you are taking an order. So if your customer service team member is taking an order, they can provide them that, okay, if you did overnight, it's going to be this, or if you did second day, then it's going to be this freight cost, right? So they'll be able to communicate that to them. And what we have seen, what customers do is that usually you add a 10 or 20% upcharge to that. So that way it accounts for when you're doing the packing. Let's say you end up packing in a multiple boxes, or you end up, utilizing certain packaging material, which it didn't count it for, then it gives you that little bit of wiggle room in terms of the freight cost. So, but it is going to be an estimated freight cost because you're doing it at a time of an order level. So you don't know exactly how you're going to be doing the packing. I hope that answers the question. And some of the customers that this also, I kind of want to point out that we had some customers that were building their own. So that's when we decided that a lot of the customers, they were spending time building their own. And when we learned that, we figured that, okay, the customers do need it. So that's why we decided to kind of get that implemented. So that way we can provide that to our customers. Another thing that I wanted to mention out that whoever is on this webinar, we wanted you guys to be kind of, if you guys already have a solution, or as Sean was mentioning, right, that they just had a bad experience before. So it was a hard time for them to trust that is the next solution going to be able to fulfill all the requirements, right? So we do give option to our customers where they can have a risk-free implementation. So let's say if you're not happy the way you implemented and you were seeing that just it's not working, you don't have to pay us, right? So we do give risk-free implementation option as well. So if you guys do have any questions on that, feel free to reach out to us for that also, and we can kind of fill you into a little bit more details on that. So that way, you don't have to worry about making any commitment and be stuck with it or anything like that. But we are pretty confident that once you see the solution, you are going to love it. So that's why we are able to offer our customer risk-free implementation as well. Any
Okay,
other
great.
questions? Mhm.
Yeah, let's give another 1, 2, 3 on, is there any other questions out there at the moment? Just give it a couple of seconds on that. We are very near the top of the hour, but I'd encourage everyone to keep the conversation going by reaching out, get a personalized demo, reach out to myself, or you see other contact information here at CloudLeap, but my contact information is also in chat. And everyone that is on the session is going to get a copy of the recording. And those that haven't been able to make it today, I know we had quite a few registrations, so that recording will go out to them as well. So I think this was a fantastic session. Once again, I just want to thank you, thank the presenters, and thank Sean also for his comments. And I think we'll call that a wrap and say, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so much, Glenn. Thank you, everybody.